Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Well, it's daylight now pretty much. I was going to start 11 minutes ago, but I got delayed. Actually, I was talking to somebody on the phone about his incredibly huge beer backstock. And I was saying, you really need to drink it because it's just not going to keep. Beer tends to not keep. And even some of that really high alcohol stuff, there's a point where it can't go past. You know, and you can forget the low alcohol beers. They're not going to last. You give those a year, and they're pretty much brewed up. But anyway, so it was an interesting conversation. But let's get to this event. We have Canadian Club Small Batch Blended Canadian Whiskey Classic 12, age 12 years. So they must have designed this label at the Office of Redundancy Office. This came out in 1984. They had a different bottle design. About 2 years ago, they updated it. Okay. 80 proof, aged at least 12 years. So the youngest whiskey in this blend is 12 years old. So there's some that are probably older. Hand-selected, fully matured Canadian Club whiskey. Patiently aged for 12 years or more. But that's the law. You got to go with the youngest age. And it's batch C12-300. And I want to thank John and Nile for giving me this as a present. Now, what a present, huh? That is a great gift, I say. But yeah, they just want to emphasize that now it's Canadian, but it's bottled in Deerfield, Illinois. Imported Canadian Club Small Batch Blended Canadian Whiskey Classic 12, age 12 years, hand selected, matured Canadian Club. Get it? And then there's a whole essay on the side about, oh, the spectacular history of Canadian Club and it's all its fantastic things, which is fine. Rainbow Sky says, hello, Ronald Terrio. Good to be here. How are you today? I'm fine. I'm cold. It's cold outside. It's 39 degrees. That's unusual for November. It's too cold. Thought the world was getting warmer. Why does it keep getting colder? What's wrong with the science? I mean the politics. I mean the science. I mean the politics. I mean the science. I mean the politics. Some things get so confused. Brass Tack says, howdy. Okay, so that's the Canadian Club from Beam-Suntory. Beam-Suntory. More Suntory than Beam, I do believe. And Black Velvet Reserve, introduced in 1991, aged 8 years. What do these two things have in common? Well, they're both whiskey. They're both aged for a pretty long time in oak. They both have crowns on their labels. Yes, because Canada is a kingdom. Did you know that? Premium sipping whiskey, imported by Black Velvet, Canandaigua, New York. It doesn't say bottled in New York, though. I think some are bottled in New York and some aren't. This one isn't. Okay, time to taste. That synthetic cork. It's like rubber something. Foam, rubber foam something. CC12, that's what I put on the label at the bottom. Canadian Club 12. And you can see I got a lot left for taste challenges. I was telling my friend who called me, David, I said, hey, he was saying, I got so much beer. It's unbelievable. Well, it is almost unbelievable, but I believe it because I've seen it. But I said, I don't have any. I ran out of new beers to try. True story. I don't have any. And as far as finding singles, I found pretty much all the singles around here that I haven't tried, and I don't want to buy multi-packs. And then the new Samuel Adams winter thing came out, and I said, oh, try to keep this little fancy cap on there. I said, well, I've had all those already. I had all the Samuel Adams variety offerings for winter. Okay, well, I don't want sometimes just a little bit of difference in the level will make it feel a little heavier or lighter, and it can give it away. Well, let's look at the appearance. As we can clearly see, this one is amber and this one is yellow. I mean, there's no similarity in color. This one is in the brown spectrum. And this one is in the yellow spectrum, right? I think, but I don't know that. I think, see, that's why we do the challenge. I think that the Canadian Club is going to destroy the Black Velvet. I can't look, okay? I got to close my eyes because it's going to be a giveaway. Yeah, I'm going to go walk 1.5 miles today. Already did my push-ups. When I got up at 3 in the morning, I did push-ups. I was so irritated because there was some wild party going on last night. No, true story. At 11:59, it woke me up. I said, what is this? I hear this incredibly loud music from back that way west. And then I hear these motors being raced, revving. They had these performance or competition four-wheelers, I could tell, going all around, around, around. I said, they're in that old cow pasture. Oh, I thought they were up and down the railroad track or back on these roads by the canal. I didn't know where they were. I could hear them. It's more than one. And I thought the music was coming from something else. So I called 911. Yeah. Okay. She said, I can hear it. She could hear it over the phone. That was so loud that the 911 operator could hear it over the phone at the sheriff's office. We're going to check with nothing. I had to put earplugs. Foam, talking about foam. I had to put earplugs, and then I fell asleep. Back to sleep. And then I had a dream that didn't make any sense. When I woke up, I thought about it. I said, that dream was it was not plausible. But that's a dream, right? But then I started hearing it again. I looked at the clock, 3 o'clock. I said, maybe I'll stay a bit in bed. Well, I can't sleep with this racket. So I called 911 again. I think it was the same operator. Sounded like her. And she thought I was across the river. At first, I was describing where I was. She thought I was on the west bank of the Mississippi River. I said, I'm not over there. And then I told her where I was. I don't think she understood where I was, but I gave her the streets. Oh, okay. She could hear it. So then eventually a sheriff's deputy came. They all drive these big SUVs now. I think it's Ford. Yeah, Ford. And he said, I hear it. I hear it. Could hear the engines. It's like they had a rave in the. He said, I'm going to go back by that stadium, football stadium, and then I'm going to go back in that old cow pasture and find out. So I kept hearing it for a long time. Then all of a sudden, I didn't hear it at all. Or I heard them going. I heard it like they had scattered or something. Maybe they. I don't think the sheriff's department has those performance four-wheelers. They could never catch them. It's a real problem. They have this problem in New Orleans. It's not motorcycle gangs. It's four-wheeler performance competition four-wheeler gangs. And they'll drive up and down the interstate. On Interstate 10, they were doing this. Totally not street legal. Here comes the Kansas City Southern. But I have more of a ruthless regard for violent crime. I would consider that violent crime because you're endangering the lives of people. It could be children in a car and you're speeding up and down the interstate on performance four-wheelers and a group of 100 people endangering their lives. So I have more old school, let's call it, regard for that. So I would, and I'm not in control of the United States, obviously. If I was, there would be a much more, let's call it, robust response to those types of things. Okay. Rainbow Sky said, I was looking for Brewmeister Armageddon. I'm not familiar with that. Gabriel says, hi, I'm here right now, but it's so rare. Yeah, I've never heard of it. Well, you need your beauty sleep. Yeah, right? Looks like it's working. Well, at least some of the cops got them away. Yeah, it was either that or they got tired and they left after hours of doing this. I don't think they caught them. You see, they go back there because you can't get back there. The sheriff's office could never get back there unless they had their own four-wheelers. See, they used that Kansas City Southern Railroad to get back there and access those areas. I don't know how other people weren't awakened by that. Maybe they were. There's only one access that I know of from US Highway 61. They may not be aware of that, but they probably get caught zipping down the US highway. I don't know. It's bad. Anyway, off of that, onto this. I don't know which is in which hand right now, so I'm going to close my eyes. You will know. I will not. You remember the gold is the Black Velvet Reserve, and the amber is the Canadian Club 12-year. It's got different names. What is it? Canadian Club 12-year special edition. Well, all right. Getting a little candy sweetness. They were talking about that. I saw a taste test for Wild Turkey 101, and they were talking about sweetness, and then there was a taste challenge, the Kentucky Beer Reviews. What is it called? Not Kentucky. It's called Special K. And they were doing Jim Beam versus Evan Williams. And they were saying, we want Jim Beam to win because we don't like Evan Williams. Jim Beam's better. And they were talking about candy, sweetness, and all. And then, well, guess what? They were wrong. It was Evan Williams won. So they were disappointed. So candy, sweetness, there. Okay, over here. Over here is a much more deep wood note, just heavily wooded, and I am thinking char, maybe. Let's see. Now, if it's Canadian Club, they might be aging it and used, could be anything. Could be Old Crow Reserve. Might be Old Crow Reserve, that black label, because that's a limited edition straight bourbon aged 6 years, and this is a limited edition Canadian blended aged 12. So could be using that, or Jim Beam black. Who knows what they're using? But this smells like, you can see it. I'm not going to open my eyes. This smells like the Canadian Club, real rich and all that. This smells like the Black Velvet with the candy sweetness, but I got to taste them. I'm not sure. They both smell nice, though. There's a low profile wood note in what I'm thinking is the Black Velvet. It's there. It just doesn't scream it. Taste time. Yeah, it's daylight now, boy. I'm gonna have to bundle up a little bit to go walking. Yeah, that's got to be Black Velvet Reserve. It's just too bland. You might say, what are you trying to say? Black Velvet is bland? I thought it was bland the first time I tried it. And I thought the Reserve was pretty dang bland. Not bad. Doesn't taste bad. Just tastes bland. I don't think Canadian Mist tastes bad. Just doesn't have much taste. It just tastes very, very dull and bland. But there's no off or weird or, repellent flavors on Canadian Mist. But our complaint was it was just so dull. But it's so popular. And you want to know why? Because it's dull. A lot of drinkers, whether it's beer, wine, or liquor, don't like strong flavors. They say it's mellow, man. Now, we will say bland. Oh, that's bland. That's dull. But in their mind, it's mellow. And then my daughter wanted to tell me yesterday, guess what? I drank a Budweiser. And she told me the story about it. I said, you drank Budweiser? Because she always says bad things about it. She said it really wasn't that good. And then the guy left too at the party. And we said, no, take it. We don't want it. Because usually you leave the beer that you bought at the party. And I told her, I said, yeah, but I don't like to leave stuff if I know people are not going to drink it and it's going to be wasted. That's just insanity. And she said, oh, I'll drink it eventually in a few months. I said, no, you need to drink it now because Budweiser doesn't age well. It's made to drink fresh, okay? That's what the whole Born on Day concept was back in the 90s. I said, just drink it. Oh, okay. But she'll probably wait around and then it'll be worse. So, I don't know. I'd drink it, obviously. Now, if it was Boxer Lager, I might dump it out. That's the only two beers I ever dumped out. Boxer Lager. Oh, and that spoiled German beer, but that's different. It was good on its own merits. It was just bad because the Dorgnacks leave stuff on the shelf ever, really. I dumped out 2 cans of Boxer Lager, and I dumped out 2 cans of Jaguar malt liquor. Horrible stuff. This is so woody. It's got to be Canadian Club 12 year. There's no way. Now I'm going to go with the preference, and I think it's a clear winner here. It's woody. It's char. It's like a good body. It's like a macho whiskey, you know what I mean? And my friend David loved it, and he doesn't even like Canadian whiskey, to tell you the truth. He told me the other night, I'm just turning into some kind of Scotch freak. Like he's getting obsessed with single malt Scotch. I said, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm kind of like that myself, but I'm an eclectic freak. So he loved that Seagram's VO Gold too. I bought him a bottle, and I said, how you like it? He said, it's gone. All right. So this one is all right. It's got some nice little qualities, kind of bland though. Don't hate it. Wouldn't buy it again, but that doesn't mean anything because I don't ever buy anything again, really. But except for the Clan McGregor, because Walmart had it for $5 when they were getting rid of it. Obviously, I bought that. If you see it for $10.99, yeah, buy it. It's worth it. I wouldn't pay more than that, though, honestly. I keep saying honestly. Guess I'm honest. All right. Repetitive. And this is the 12 year, which is obviously the winner. Clearly the winner. Most definitely the winner. Without exception, the winner. And it's a good $10 more a bottle. Now think about that. It's at least, well, now let's see, because I bought that on sale. Okay, it's $10 more a bottle. You better be careful. So $10 more. Is it worth $10 more? Yes, I'd make that trade-off. Sometimes trade-offs aren't worth it, but I think in this case it's worth the trade-off. Yeah. If I was going to buy Black Velvet, and I wouldn't be looking to do that, but let's just say for some bizarre reason I just had this incredible desire to buy it. I would just buy Black Velvet, the regular one. You can get it everywhere. It's only $9.99. But then why would I buy it? Because I could get Canadian Limited for $7.42 at Walmart, which to me is better. Well, is it better? Yeah, it's kind of better, and it has more flavor. It's flavorings, some other odd distilled spirits and aged wine added to it, but still it has flavor. I'll get Canadian Limited. I'll get Rich and Rare before I got Black Velvet. Rich and Rare at $7.49 at Walmart. Yeah. All right, here we go. The winner is Canadian Club 12 year. Golly, there's hardly any left. Yeah, I can tell without looking at the label. CC12. Ew. Oh, how sweet it is, as Jackie Gleason used to say. All right. Evan Williams was way better when I tried it, but that being said, Jim Beam was the first bourbon I've tried, so there's some nostalgia, says Rainbow Sky. What was the first bourbon I ever tried? I think it was McAfee's Benchmark Old Number 8. Yeah. Yep. I liked it. I still like it. I think Jack Daniels. And I think Jim Beam was the second. And I'm not going to go through all of them because people would say that's so boring. All right. So, and I've gone through the long march and I got a lot of marching to do. I'm asked every day, try this, try that, try this, try that, try that, try this, try that. I can't try everything. If I lived 1,000 years, I could. But, you know, the sands in the hourglass are running out. I mean, I didn't say running out fast. I don't know how fast they're running. I don't know the day or the time, right? But one day they're going to run out, and I will not have tried everything, and that will be okay. Oh, it's okay. I'm not. Oh, yeah, that was a strong hit of grain alcohol there, boy. Ugh. Woo. Toot, toot. Yeah, well, at least they're honest. They tell you right there on their website they use grain neutral spirits. It's probably 80% grain neutral spirits, and they add the rye high wine and the barley high wine and all of that. So, and they're telling you right up front, here's what it is. But they're all that. See Canadian blended whiskey? You wonder why they taste like they do? Because it's grain spirits. They take the corn and they distill it till it's a clear, colorless, odorless liquid, essentially. And then you say, well, that wouldn't have any flavor. No, it would not. That's why they add the other 20% is made up of the other straight whiskeys that gives it the flavor. And depending on the ratios and what they add and how long they age it, then it'll vary. Same story in America with American blended whiskeys. You can get some that are, let's call them highly questionable. Oh, man, like Kentucky Dale. Oh, wow. That's a good place to start because chances are you're only going to go up from Kentucky Dale. You don't have too far to fall. Not too far to fall. If you're going to do gin, you may as well start with Crystal Palace because there ain't no, you're probably not going to find anything lower than it. You can only go up from there. Can't say for rum because I've only tried one rum, and that was really dynamite. With brandy, well, you know, brandy now, even if you start low, you're not starting too bad. The Christian Brothers and the Paul Masson and the E&J base models, the VS, they're really good for what you're getting. And starting at a pretty high level with that, even though the price is so incredibly low, $9.99, $9.97 at Walmart for Parmesan VS. About as cheap as they come, babe. And then you can just build, and it gets so more incredible. You want to try some brandies that are a little bit, I don't know, it was something that wasn't right with that brandy. Trader Joe's French brandy, that was, I don't know, I drank it all. Their cream sherry was even worse. And then their, I went to Dorness and they had that VVSOP, the Fleur de Lis Napoleon VVSOP French brandy in the big old liter bottle. Yeah, that stuff was pretty good. And I see that at bars. They use that, you know, it's make brandy Alexander, stuff like that. But it's not trash. Okay, so enough reminiscing about what I saw at bars. Rainbow Sky said, do you like wild turkey? Yes. Yes, I like wild turkey. And I like the Wild Turkey 101. Because they got the Wild Turkey bourbon, which is just 40.5 proof, basic blending, whiskey, mixing. It's good. Make highballs with it. Or in my case, drink it straight and enjoy it. And then there's the 101. That's a little too strong for me, honestly. Your counterpoint might be you're weak. You can't handle strong liquor. Yeah, would not even argue against that. I would agree. Okay. So that's fine. I don't like strong beer. Once it gets above 6%, unless it's a real good imperial stout, like Narwhal or Old Rasputin, I don't like them. Those high gravity lagers, oh, I mean, the Santa Claus is good. They're world-class products, but they make you feel so sick. There's no benefit for them, right? Like you're drinking it. Oh, it's so fabulous. You know, it's so rich. It's 14%. It's got all these intricate qualities. Then you feel like somebody shot you with a hypodermic of some kind of tranquilizer. It's a very unpleasant feeling. I don't think lager's designed for that. I don't think lager's designed to be so strong like that. Ales work a lot better at the high gravity level. Oh, well, it's just a personal opinion. Hello, says Valentin. Hello to you, and I'm about to get off of this, Valentin, but thanks for watching. Well, this wasn't very challenging because Canadian Club was clearly different than Black Velvet, and it was much better in flavor, as I predicted. Now, what's left? Well, I've got Seagram's VO, just the old venerable Seagram's VO, remember, from 1911. Although this new model is not 86.6 proof, 86.8 proof. It used to be 86.8 proof, but they've dropped it down to 80 like so many others. It's a different recipe. But, you know, I wasn't drinking whiskey in 1951, right? So we got the modern VO, but I still think VO's gonna beat up. Yeah, it's gonna kill Black Velvet, and it's actually more expensive than Black Velvet anyway. Yeah, VO is more expensive than Black Velvet Reserve. It's more popular too. It's gonna destroy it. And then the follow-up, and that'll be the end of this tournament, is going to be Seagram's VO Gold, age 8 years versus Black Velvet Reserve, 8 years. That's going to be scary. That'd be like Nebraska. Well, I was going to say Nebraska. What? This is not 1997. It would be like Ohio State playing Texas State. That's how bad it's going to be. And I'm not saying Black Velvet is as weak as Rice or Texas State or Texas El Paso relative to Ohio State. But it's going to get killed. It's going to get killed by Seagram's VO Gold, believe me. And that's it for this. Gabe says, turkey, ground turkey in stores have salmonella, Jenny O brands. Thanks for telling us that. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching this taste challenge, and I'll see you next week where I have 3 more taste challenges planned. Up against VO, up against VO Gold, and then, ooh, I might have 4 challenges planned. Well, I got to see. But regardless, we're going to be starting again with a new one. King Robert II is going to do a round-robin tournament with all the other blended scotches that I have, and that's going to be a fascinating situation, I do very much believe. So get ready for, at the end of next week, King Robert II Scotch whiskey, introduced many decades ago.